Inflation Talks, the Kyle and Savannah Perspective Shift. Theme: Inflation, Debt, Consumer Behavior, and the Emotional Toll of Economic Uncertainty.
Welcome back to the Kyle and Savannah Perspective Shift. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Savannah. Today we're diving into something almost everyone is feeling right now: inflation.
Yeah. And not just inflation as a number on a screen. We're talking about what inflation actually feels like in everyday life. Groceries, rent, fuel, debt, anxiety. That feeling where your paycheck just doesn't stretch like it used to.
And I think what's important is this conversation isn't just about economics, it's psychological too. Because when people feel financially squeezed long enough, it changes behavior, it changes confidence, it changes families.
Segment 1: The Feeling of Shrinking.
You know what's wild? A lot of people technically still have jobs, but they feel poorer.
Exactly. And that's one of the strangest parts of inflation. On paper, you might still be earning the same amount or even slightly more, but your purchasing power quietly erodes underneath you.
A bag of groceries that used to cost $120 is suddenly $180. Fast food is expensive now. Insurance is up. Utilities are up. Everything compounds.
And people begin adapting in subtle ways: smaller purchases, delaying repairs, avoiding vacations, cutting subscriptions, even social behavior changes because going out costs money.
And the scary part is, eventually, people normalize it. Humans adapt fast.
Segment 2: Is the system sustainable?
Here's the deeper question, though. Can economies continue operating this way long term?
That's the uncomfortable conversation. Because governments globally are carrying enormous debt, consumers are carrying debt, and corporations are carrying debt too.
And debt works fine until confidence weakens.
Exactly. The whole system depends on people continuing to spend, borrow, invest, and believe tomorrow will be better.
But when inflation stays elevated long enough, people stop feeling hopeful. They start feeling trapped.
And once survival mode kicks in, people stop planning long-term. They stop investing in the future because they're just trying to survive the month.
Segment 3: The Human Side of Inflation.
You know what's missing from most economic discussions? The emotional side.
Absolutely.
Inflation creates tension in relationships. Families argue more about money. Stress levels rise. People work extra shifts and lose time with their kids.
And mentally, it's exhausting always calculating everything. Every grocery trip becomes math.
And for younger generations especially, there's this growing feeling of, will I ever actually get ahead?
That's huge, because when younger people lose faith in upward mobility, society shifts psychologically.
Reflective question number 1.
So here's a question for everyone listening. What's one thing inflation has changed in your daily life that you didn't expect?
Maybe it changed how you shop, maybe how you save, maybe how you think about your future.
Segment 4: Consumer Power.
Something I've been thinking about lately is this. Consumers actually hold enormous power collectively.
They really do.
If millions of people suddenly stopped unnecessary spending, companies would feel it almost immediately.
And that's where personal responsibility intersects with economics. Because while we can't control central banks or global policy, we can control our habits.
Spending less impulsively, saving more aggressively, learning new skills, becoming more adaptable.
Not out of fear, but out of resilience.
Segment 5: AI, Automation in the Next Shift.
And now inflation is colliding with another massive force: AI and automation.
Which creates even more uncertainty. Because people are asking, if jobs change rapidly while living costs keep rising, what happens then?
That's the question nobody fully has the answer to yet.
But maybe adaptability becomes the new security.
Not relying on one company, one industry, one system. but constantly learning.
Reflective question number 2.
Here's another question for you. If the economy changed dramatically over the next 5 years, what skills or habits would help you survive it?
And are you building those now?
Segment 6. Hope versus fear.
I don't think people want constant doom and gloom. I think people want honesty.
Exactly. Because despite all this uncertainty, humans are incredibly adaptive.
We've survived recessions, technological revolutions, market crashes, wars, and massive societal shifts before.
And maybe this moment forces people to rethink what really matters.
Community, stability, skills, family, purpose.
Because eventually people realize endless consumption doesn't necessarily create happiness.
Final reflection.
So before we wrap up, we want to leave you with this. Are we building lives based on long-term stability or short-term comfort?
And if inflation is exposing cracks in the system, maybe it's also exposing areas in our own lives we need to strengthen.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Kyle and Savannah Perspective Shift.
If this episode made you think, share it with someone who's been feeling the pressure of this economy too.
And we'd love to hear from you. What changes have you made because of inflation?
We'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody.